I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely Muse that we shall be guided. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. We sought shelter from the shadows, but were soon ripped from the dark. Those mortal souls that ended us were jealous from the start. They hunted me for power to fuel their psychopathic cause. And once they fell before me and worshipped all I was, they chased me down and threw me in a cage, held me prisoner for so long. I thought I'd win their hearts again. I was wrong. I was wrong. I see you have the power. It's a poisonous reward. Virtues only scorn me when I was once adored, loved by every mortal, then ripped from paradise. No one suffered greater till he made his sacrifice. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me, he struck a deal with our enemy's enemy, made a secret weapon so my captors let me go.
Ja, da ist er.
He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory. And this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
I can't believe what I'm hearing today. If your story stops there, I've nothing to say. I can't imagine. I feel like a child who grew up too fast. The goddess of love can't get past the past. What good is a flame when everything's ash? I can't imagine.
There's no excuse close, but mortals can tell.
You know.
There's no sweet release, it's ongoing.
You know. You know.
Everyone's here to bid me farewell. Can you imagine?
I can imagine.
This really happened. I won't let you weep, you know it's too late. Sing me to sleep, pity my fate. My memories won't let me be.
Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment.
My sister, where we're all headed to, nobody knows. We have so much history and we're all caught in its throes. Sweet Aphrodite, I know there's no one like you. That's why I'll never know how you can carry the weight. The goddess of love's never felt so much hate. Drown in a sea of your fate.
Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment. There's fire in you yet. Aphrodite returns, she'll never forget.
Finally we'll be free.
Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song.
Lost in a moment. Lost in a moment. Lost in a moment.
Mother, is it true? You've chosen to...
Live. I have chosen to live. I'm so sorry, Venus. I made you so many promises, dearest, and I won't be able to keep them.
My lady, all I ever wanted was for you to be happy. If this is your wish, I'll be with you at every step.
I as well. Always.
I hope none of us regret this choice in the days to come. But thank you.
Ich hatte kurz Sorge, dass ich es zu lang habe laufen lassen. Aber ich hatte auch Sorge, dass wenn ich sie einfach direkt überfahre, dass sie dann dicht macht. Wollte das erst in Gang kriegen, wollte auch so ein bisschen die nochmal von direkt unmittelbar die Geschichte so ein bisschen hören, bevor wir dann da reingrätschen. Aber es hat ja funktioniert. Das wird schon klappen.
It has to be better than doing the same thing over and over.
Does it? It could also be far worse.
Don't talk like that, Mother. We can fight this.
I'm so very tired, my loves, but I will. I'll try. Now then, Grace. You needed my help. No doubt regarding Calliope's death? Have you any suspicions as to who might be responsible?
Ich habe die Liste eingegrenzt. Das ist das Geschickte.
Nobody definite, no, but I've narrowed the list of who it could be.
Oh, how's that?
For one, it had to be someone who had access to the reliquary. 2, it had to be someone who could do it right under the noses of Hecate and the Minotaur. Medusa was there, but I'm not sure she got inside. And are either of those things true for her?
Calliope came to see us that night. She was agitated, frightened even, but she wouldn't explain why.
She said she had a plan. That must have been the reliquary.
Was für ein Plan.
A plan? A plan for what? What could she find at the reliquary that would help her?
Maybe she wanted a weapon. Something to defend herself with.
But she got inside and didn't take anything.
How odd. Hecate must be beside herself with annoyance. I'm afraid I can't offer much help, Grace. Few have access to the reliquary. I certainly do not, and I don't know who does. If Medusa was there, I'd ask her why and how. There are always motives lurking within her motives.
Come now, Mother. It's time you rested. It's been a long night.
If I don't, I suppose you'll both gang up on me again. Very well.
Das war nicht sehr hilfreich, muss ich leider sagen.
So, did they have anything helpful? I see. Then you still intend to seek her out.
Du könntest mich beschützen. Ich weiß nicht. Also, ich nehme sie als starke Protagonistin wahr. Als, ne? Ist unter deiner Würde, sorry. Gibt's einen anderen Weg?
I have to. How else will I find out what she knows?
I still don't like it. Athena employs Medusa as a spy master of sorts. She works from the shadows. I don't actually know where she is. I'll see if I can find out. But it won't be a simple matter. You should probably ask around. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
What Aphrodite went through, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about the life of an immortal. It never ends.
Wow. Way to really sell it, Apollo.
You really are amazing, you know that? Every hurdle, every piece of unpleasant news, you just keep on going. I don't know how you do it.
Tja, das ist die Wahrheit, ne? Wir haben keine andere Wahl.
It kind of helps that I don't have a choice.
I just wish I could see the world through your eyes. Next to you, I feel very old.
Oh, wenn wir ihm sagen, dass er alt ist, mag er uns nicht mehr? Und ist er so eitel? Ist es so schlimm?
Is it really that bad? Being a literal god, young and hunky forever?
No, it's not that. There are good things, yes, but they come with the not-so-good things as well.
Such as?
Such as having the gift of prophecy, and never being able to act on what you see. I tried, and it only made things worse. So instead I try to not want to try, and that's still not better.
How about you come with me sometime? Let me show you the world I see.
A tempting offer.
Sounds kind of corny, huh?
It really doesn't. I would love that. Can we go now?
Hey, I'm game if you are.
Take my hand for a minute. Let your hair down for a second. There's so much to like if you open your eyes. If you try to search for the light, you might be surprised. No, it's not hard to find. The courage you need to be joyful is something you build over time. No matter what I do, the answer's in you. That I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
War die einzig valide Antwort aus den dreien.
I'll take your hand for a minute, though it's more than I feel I deserve. It could grow on me, this world that you see, yet I've been alive for too long. 1,000 years of learning about what could go wrong. I'm tired of being wrong.
If it all went wrong, and it could go wrong, still better to lose than to never open up. That's the one thing I wanna get across. The courage you need to be joyful.
I appreciate the campaign.
Something I'll come help you find.
If I ever let her know.
No matter what I do, the answer's in you.
The answer's in
I'll
me.
hold your hand all the while.
The courage you need to be joyful is something you build over time.
No matter what I do,
the answer's in you. I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
Ich dachte kurz, sie wirft die Schüssel mit Obst um. Das wäre ich gewesen. Ja, wenn ich irgendwann die Muse abkriege, dann sähe das so aus. Ich wäre quasi der Slapstick unter den Musen. Ach, Leute. Ja, also, ja, ne, eigentlich Freddy ganz klar beste Romance-Option. Aber in dem Fall, also auch im Zuge einer sich anbahnenden Freundschaft hätte man war es einfach an der Stelle wichtig zu sagen, ey, Kumpel, es gibt da draußen Dinge, die es sich zu erleben lohnt, auch wenn man dabei mal auf die Fresse fällt. Ja. Und den Kerl aus seiner Depression rauszuholen, das ist ja furchtbar. Ja, gehen wir jetzt einfach zu Medusa? Es ist halt, ne, er bietet uns die ganze Zeit diese Gesprächsoptionen an. Ich habe Angst darauf, zu viel Zeit zu verschwenden. Also verschwenden, ihr versteht, was ich meine. Wir haben schon Tag 4, Leute. An Tag 7 ist, und wir wissen nix. Wir wissen wirklich einfach nix. Ich habe so ein bisschen Angst, hier Dinge zu übersehen, aber gleichzeitig drängt es mich nach Effizienz. Wisst ihr, was ich meine? Ja, komm, wenigstens einmal mit Freddy kurz schließen.
Hey, hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse.
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having.
Well, I, stopped the goddess of love from killing herself, I guess?
Whoa. Do gods have interventions? You know, they're nothing like I thought they would be. Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
Da habe ich noch gar nicht drüber nachgedacht, ne? Aber eigentlich gab es gar keine Priester der Musen. Jetzt Cass.
What are Cass and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Cass Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
Oh, das hatte ich nicht realisiert, weil ich stumpf bin auf der Ader, aber oh. Ja, tut mir leid wegen der Band, ne?
I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer. Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
Ugh, I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
Das ist wahr. Ich finde den Namen gar nicht schlecht. Also ja, du musst halt dann eine bestimmte Art von Musik machen. Du brauchst da dann, also wenn du halt deine Band Edge of Elysium nennst, ne, da brauchst du eine Menge Keyboard, um das auszugleichen. Oder dem gerecht zu werden, vielmehr. Aber why not? Ja, wie sind diese Idole eigentlich geheim geblieben? Das ist eine gute Frage, ne? Also ich meine, die richten nur Unsinn an.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
Okay, I have to hear this.
Okay, so you could have real evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted. Imagine the headline. Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah, you're right.
Ja, so funktioniert das. Du musst nur dafür sorgen, dass es so bekloppt ist, die Wahrheit zu sagen, dass keiner die Wahrheit sagt. Da sind wir schon ganz tief drin im Kaninchenbau. Setzt eure Aluhüte auf, Leute. Was weißt du über die Götter?
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddy?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe. Who do you want to hear about?
Ja, offensichtlich, ne? Also wir fangen mal mit Calliope an, weil es einfach wichtig ist.
Do you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9. Though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow, I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
Freddy Beste. Es ist ganz cool. Also, das ist geschickt gemacht, ne, dass man sich hier bei unserer Nerdfreundin einfach seine griechische Mythologie quasi abholen kann. Wenigstens so ein bisschen Grundwissen. Wie wir ja beim letzten Mal gemerkt haben, bin ich auch so ein bisschen eingerostet. Dadurch ist es gar nicht so schlecht. Das mit den 3 oder 9 Musen haben sie übrigens im letzten Stream tatsächlich adressiert. Ich glaube, Apollo hatte das erwähnt, dass einige sagen, zwar behaupten, das wären irgendwie 9 gewesen, aber es sind halt faktisch 3 und die Sterblichen sind halt durcheinander gekommen, weil die Eidolons der Idole halt wechseln, ne, zu verschiedenen Körpern sozusagen. Und fragen wir mal nach Apollo.
What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
So, ein Schwerenöter, noch einer. Wie ist es mit Persephone?
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry, she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true.
Das ist wahr. Untraumatisiert, muss man ganz klar sagen. Ne? Und sehr darauf bedacht, mehr zu sein als nur das Opfer. Also ich glaube, das ist ein großer Motivationstreiber, so wie ich sie erlebt habe, dass sie versucht, stark und unabhängig wenigstens zu scheinen. Wie ist das eigentlich mit unserem Schlitzohr Pan?
You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest, sort of.
And you don't like him?
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the dead. Weirdly, he's also the only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
Ich weiß nicht, ob er das so witzig findet. Andererseits, vielleicht stört er sich auch nicht weiter dran. Er ist der Einzige, der angeblich gestorben ist. Ich meine, gut, ne, jetzt, wo wir wissen, wie das mit den Eidolons funktioniert, ne, dass der Gott quasi seine Kraft weitergibt und damit der Gott quasi von Körper zu Körper wandert, ist es jetzt nicht ausgeschlossen, dass das mal dokumentiert wurde auf die eine oder andere Art? Aber wir behalten das mal im Hinterkopf. Wie ist das mit Athena?
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her, then.
Athene als große Strategin ist für mich ehrlich gesagt momentan die Hauptverdächtige in dieser ganzen Sache. Ich glaube, dass Calliope versucht hat, den Status quo auszuhebeln. Und ich glaube, Athene fand das nicht cool, weil sie Angst hatte, wenn der Status quo, ne, ihr ganzer Way of Life, die letzten tausender Jahre etc. pp., wenn der ausgehebelt wird, dass das schlecht für alle ist. Ne? Und sie sieht sich ja so ein bisschen als eine Beschützerdame hier der ganzen Idols. Und sie sah sich gezwungen, entweder zu akzeptieren, dass das passiert, oder ihre eigenen Regeln zu brechen. Und ich glaube, das wäre zumindest was ich ihr zutrauen würde, dass sie sich dafür entschieden hat, das kleine Übel zu wählen, könnte man sagen. Ne? Sie hat ein kleines Opfer gebracht, um die Gemeinschaft zu schützen. Das ist eine Ratio, die traue ich ihr zu.